Hey, how's it going, everybody? I just figured may have we could have a little bit of fun here. As you can see, this is my Z590 Dark Kingpin motherboard. Um, anyway, what I wanted to take and do is pretty much I'm getting ready to take this board apart and clean it, and then I'm going to be putting it back together so I can officially retire the motherboard. Yeah, these are my lovely, this is my lovely 16 gigs of Trident RAM. Poorly, the low bin RAM, can't really push them at all. And yes, it has electrical tape on it. The electrical tape is there to cover the RGB. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what it is. That pretty much is what it is on the RAM end of it, on the motherboard. But here's the water block, and as you could tell, not the cleanest in the world at all. Um, let's say, I mean, didn't really beat on the motherboard, but it, yeah, didn't really beat on the motherboard, but at the same time too, it is what it is. With work and everything, being nitpicky about cleaning it, going nuts on it, and everything wasn't the top of my list. To me, it was like, as long as it's working and it's not showing any struggling from maintenance, then I just left it be. As the saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Um, but yeah, so neither here or there. My 10900K is still in this. The 10900K that's in this it has been delidded. The die has been lapped. The IHS has been lapped, and it's been it's all got liquid metal on it, as well as this EK velocity water block is pure copper. Yes, it does have a lap to it. It's got liquid metal on it as well. This block has been on here for, I want to say, almost 2 years roughly. So yeah, just like on my 2080 Ti Kingpin, when I showed you what the liquid metal looked like on that after about a year, this is about almost 2 years here. I'm gonna take this apart and show you what that looks like too, and even take off the IHS from the CPU. And you guys will also see, which I can honestly say you won't see anybody else who's done it, but you'll see it on here, is I've actually got my retention bracket sanded down, for the simple fact of the IHS for this 10900K is lapped so far, I had to actually sand it down for the water block to make contact with the IHS, which I'll show you all of that. So yeah, show you what's underneath the hood when it comes to this now, since I never really ever showed anybody. Only told people what's been done to it, but I've never actually showed anybody. But since this board's getting retired, yeah, figured why not? Let's pull the covers off and show what's underneath the hood. So what do you say we get into it? Let's see. First, I'm gonna start by removing the RAM. Said it's a crap bin RAM, hence why I don't really care about it. It's whatever. DDR4, gotta like it. These sticks, they don't clock past 3800 megahertz. I believe the latency is either 14 or 15. I don't remember correctly. But as I said, these sticks, no, they're not the Royals. The latency is 14, but they're not the Royals, so they're not the top-notch Tridents. When it comes to DDR4, the Royals is your top bin RAM. Yeah, these are just the Tridents, nothing special at all. Latency is 14. I believe it's 1432 at 1.32 volts at 3200 megahertz. And leaving latency alone and leaving the voltage alone, or bringing it up a couple volts, or I think like 1.35, 1.36 more like it was. It's about as low as I was able to get the power on these sticks. They will not go past 38 megahertz. After that, you have to crank up the voltage, which it kind of defies the purpose of doing it. But so the bin isn't all that on these. Anyway, let's get back. Let's jump back into this. And yes, when you buy the velocity water block, these do not come with these notches in it. I actually put these notches in it because, as you can see, I can just use my screwdriver now. Makes life a whole lot easier. And what I also took and did, which with this block, I did a little trick to get more pressure on the actual socket itself, was, just give me one moment and I will show you. I'll pull this one off first so I can show you. If you notice, there's a metal washer here. Won't see many people doing that either. I did it though. The whole purpose of that is the spring on, and then the thumb screw on. It pushes the block into the CPU more. But yeah, so let's continue taking it apart. No, I'm not going to clean the motherboard on camera. I'm primarily doing this video to show you what's underneath the hood of this block. As I said, I've told many of people how it's set up, but I've never actually ever taken and opened the hood, more or less. But I'm going to now. Come on. Alright, so let's see. Ready for the goodness? Here we go. Voila. And yeah, water just came out of the block and went on the motherboard. Which, please, nobody bug out about that. It's not gonna harm a damn thing. Even if I decide to use the motherboard in the future or whatever, as long as the board is dry before I put electricity to it, nothing will happen to it at all. Nothing at all. But there's the liquid metal on the block, so you can actually see what the liquid metal has done to the copper block. Absolutely nothing. Perfectly fine. See if I get the camera to get in on it better. But there you go. Almost 2 years, never been taken off. Perfectly fine. Not dried up, not nothing. But there's the block. There's the block, and now I'm going to zoom in the camera so I can show you the CPU socket. Then I'll pull the CPU for you. Zoom this in. Get a little bit more. There we go. As you see, there's the sanded down retention bracket. Again, the whole purpose behind that. And no, this is not corrosion. This is not rust. I know some people are gonna think that it is. No, it's not at all. But what I actually did is when I was sanding this down, I actually got this really hot when I sanded it down, and it discolored the retention brackets. As you can see, I went quite intense on the sanding on the retention bracket, because it's also right here a little bit too, and some little speckles over here too. But over here I was able to sand it down, or to get rid of the color, but I had to back off of here because, as you see, this little tabs here that hold down the IHS got so thin. I didn't want to take the strength out to where I actually put the pressure on the CPU that the IHS took a chance of breaking these little tabs off, because if that happened, I would have been seriously screwed. But there you go. As you see, the retention bracket sanded down. You won't see anybody doing this. But I said I did it because I took and took the lapping on the IHS to the extremes. And the whole purpose of that was for faster thermal transfers, and it worked. But so with that being said, let's take the CPU out of the socket. And here's the good old 10900K. Get this on camera a little bit. Actually zoom this out just a little bit. But yep, there's the good old 10900K. There's liquid metal on the IHS. And as you can see, 0 damage. Now I'll take and I'll pop the IHS. Watch, yeah, I'll take it. I'll pop the IHS now. Just be very careful about it. And there it is, delidded. There it is on the die itself. There it is on the bottom side of the IHS. As you can see, I went nuts when I lapped it. I mean, really, look how thin I got that. That's how thin I got the IHS. So now you see why I took in, I also sanded down the retention bracket. I had to so the water block would make contact. But as you see, there's a liquid metal. But yeah, that IHS is heavily modified. Now I'm gonna set this off to the side, and there she is, the 10900K. I do have a video on my YouTube, or on YouTuber here, of this 10900K on water doing 5.5 gigahertz all cores. And it was very easy to pull it. But yeah, so that's pretty much that, and there she is, the good old Z590 dark kingpin, getting retired well after I clean it. As I said, that water means nothing. It's not going to harm nothing at all as long as the motherboard is completely dried before any electricity is put to it. It's perfectly fine. And now, if I was going to use this motherboard, how I would take care of that, a little bit of trick for you guys, how I would take care of that. I would actually take the motherboard and I would like tilt it on its side, and I would literally take and pour rubbing alcohol all over the area where the liquid is, because the rubbing alcohol push the water out. And then after that, you take it, you can go back with either a heat gun or a blow dryer and warm up the motherboard to PCB. The point of doing that is rubbing alcohol, it evaporates to the heat. So yeah, use the rubbing alcohol to push the water away. At the same time too, it'll help clean it to an extent. And then after that, you hit the motherboard or the area with a blow dryer or heat gun. You don't want to go crazy hot, but get it warm, and it evaporates. And after that, you could put the motherboard in front of an air conditioner or fan to cool it down or whatever, and then you're good to go. Now, believe it or not, typically how I clean motherboards is I'll take off all the heat sinks, obviously, take off all the thermal pads, obviously. And yeah, if you plan on reusing the thermal pads, you take and you be careful with the thermal pads, treat them nice. And once they're all off, then I take it, I literally just cover the whole motherboard. Doesn't matter what kind of motherboard I have, what motherboard I'm cleaning, I do them all the same. Cover the motherboard in rubbing alcohol, and then literally just take a soft bristled toothbrush and literally start scrubbing away on it. That's all I do. And after that, you could take some more rubbing alcohol with the motherboard on its side and just pour it on the motherboard, allowing it to run off, which is washing it away. And then again, to dry it off, hit it with a blow dryer or heat gun. Again, don't let the PCB, or you don't have to get the PCB crazy hot. The whole point of the blow dryer or whatever is to help the rubbing alcohol evaporate quicker so you can use it quicker. And that's literally how I clean motherboards, and every time they come out like brand spanking new. But so yeah, there she is, the Z590 Dark Kingpin in all of her glory. So yeah, gonna get this motherboard cleaned up and retire her. So yeah, I'm gonna put another retention bracket on the socket, and take one of those plastic caps that you give the motherboards to protect the socket, put that on there and close it down, protect everything. And then that's pretty much that. And then when I do my Kingpin hardware display, this will be going on display when it's all nice and clean. And when I get done cleaning it, the motherboard's gonna look brand spanking new. And yes, if anybody's wondering, this paint, when I did the paint, it's candy apple red. So, and I've been asked if I'm gonna do the paint to my Z790 Dark Kingpin. I've been thinking about it. I already know how I'm gonna do it if I do it, but to be honest with you, I like the motherboard how it is. I really do. But yeah, almost 17 minutes in, I showed what I wanted to show, and that's pretty much it. Thanks for everybody who watches and who supports, and well, till the next time when we have some more fun, ladies and gents, I'm out.